Hello friends, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to teach you step by step how to paint this really cute and simple Christmas tree. So let's jump right into it. For supplies today, I'll be painting with my Emma Lefebvre Craft to Mo brushes. I will also be using a jar of water, a paper towel, these gold metallic paints which I'll link below for you guys, watercolors, and my Canson watercolor paper. I'm so excited for all the holiday content I will have coming out, so be sure to stick around so you don't miss it. But let's get painting this cute Christmas tree. I'm going to start out by wetting my brush, and then I'm going to come over to my palette and just wet the colors I already had, because I will be using a similar color for the little swatch of color at the bottom of this, for the bottom of the tree. So I'm just going to get some brownish yellow colors, and then I'm going to add a little bit of brown to that, along with a little bit of white, just to lighten it a bit. And then I'm going to dip my brush in my water, brush off some of that pigment, and then I'll go in and I just make these easy, just kind of, I don't know, simple brush strokes, just to add a little bit more color to the bottom of the tree, just so it doesn't look as plain. And then I always like to drop a little bit of color in there, just for a little bit more, just to make it a little bit more interesting to look at. So there we have that. Then I'm going to rinse out my brush, dab it on my paper towel, and then we can start to mix the brown for the tree trunk and the green for the tree. So I'm going to take this brown, add it over here, and I'm just going to mix it in with a little bit of the color I already had, and then that will be a good brown color for the trunk. Rinse out my brush, and then I'm going to go to my greens. And for this green, I'm just going to pick some greens, and then I'm going to add some brown to it so that it looks a little bit more natural, because as you can see, this green right here doesn't really look like a tree you would just see in the forest. Like, they're usually not that bright. So you're going to take some brown, mix it in, just to make it look a little bit more natural. And there you go. Now you can tell that that looks a little bit more like a natural tree. So usually for colors to make trees look more natural, I'll either add brown or purple, but purple adds a little bit more of a gray undertone. And there we go. Then we can go ahead and get started. So I'm going to wash out my brush once more and just kind of dab it on here. Oops. Always pick that up with your paper towel. And then I'm going to leave my brush on my paper towel, and I'm going to go in with my size 2. And remember, all the supplies I'm using will be linked in the description box if you're curious about checking them out. So I'm going to take my brown. I'm going to start off with the trunk, so I'm just going to rub any extra paint off that I have on here. So now I'm going to hold my brush pretty lightly, and I'm going to go in and make the trunk of my tree. Just kind of make it however tall you would like, and it doesn't have to be perfectly straight or anything, because trees aren't perfect. And then you're going to rinse out your brush, dab it on your paper towel, get a little bit more water on there, and then go in with your green. And then you can go ahead and start making your tree branches. So for this particular tree, I like to make them all coming down, but sometimes I like to make a few at the top going up. But today, I'm just going to do this simple movement with my hand. It's just kind of back and forth, just like that. And I'm just using the brush lightly so that my strokes don't get too thick, because I don't want them to be all jumbled up and look all centered. I like when you can see them and there's lots of pieces to it. I think it looks a little bit more natural that way. And so I'm going to keep dragging out those leaves, or I guess they're like branches from the tree, and just keep on doing that till I work my way down, and they're going to get longer as you come down. And I do like to dab some color in there before it completely dries, just to give a little bit more contrast and interest to look at. And then I'm just going to continue doing that all the way down, just using those light strokes, bringing the tree branches down just like so, and just continue that all the way. And they don't have to be perfect, because no tree branches are completely the same or perfect or anything like that. And then I like to make a few that look like they're kind of coming towards you a little bit. And then keep doing some out like that. And there we go. There we have our cute little Christmas tree. So then I'm going to take the darker paint I have here, tap it in just like so, and there we go. So now I'm going to let this dry. I might add, a few darker branches here and there just for a little bit of contrast, just by using my brush and holding it lightly. And there we go. I'm going to make that a little bit more fine up there. And that's about it. Now I'm going to wait for this to dry, rinse out my brush, dab it on my paper towel, and then we can go and add the star. Here I have my gold paint palette, and I love this. As you can see, I've definitely used these two the most. There's not a lot of paint left in there, but for these paints, I found that you need to wet them before you use them to really get them activated. So I'm going to take my bigger brush just so it can hold more water, and then just kind of put it in the pan that I'm going to use. And I'm going to use this gold. I find it's the darkest and just the most saturated out of all of these colors. And then I'm just going to put that right there for now. And then I'm going to let this dry for a few more minutes. But I wanted to ask you guys the question of the video, which is, what is your favorite holiday food or drink? Because I would love to know. My favorite holiday drink is definitely hot cocoa. Love having it in the winter when I'm all cold. It really warms me up. And for my favorite food, I honestly like so many. I don't think I could pick a favorite, but I do really want to know what your guys' favorite foods are, so let me know in the comments. Now I'm going to take my gold paint and my smaller brush to try and make the smallest and finest star I can. And I'm really going to activate that paint, as you can see, just pushing around that water to get all of the pigment and really getting it on the brush. So then I'm going to put my paint palette down, and we're going to go in and make a star. So for this, I just do it how I would make a star with a pencil, which is a line up and then a line down. And then I like to go across here, across again here at the top, and then one from the bottom up there. And then I just fill in my star like so, and it's that simple. And then I usually take my paint and a little bit more water, get some more pigment on there, and really drop it in just so that it's a lot darker when it dries and you notice it more. So there we go. There's my simple, cute little Christmas tree, and I can't wait to pop this in a frame and use it as decoration. Now you could either leave this playing, or you could write something like Merry Christmas or Oh Holy Night or all sorts of fun Christmas quotes down there. But I just feel like this little bit of brown really adds a little bit more to the painting. But you could add this to a card, a bookmark, a big canvas or art piece, many different things. The ideas are endless. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite holiday food or drink is, because I would love to know. And that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down below. I would love to have you join this fun artsy community. Drop a comment. I would love to respond to it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.